Good morning, everyone. Here we are. Woohoo! We are back. This is the Morning Cup. We are thrilled to have you. This is the Morning Cup powered by Second Act Women. We are the co-founders of Second Act Women. I'm Barbara, sitting in at 53.11.
Next month.
Next month.
And I'm Guadalupe.
So let's just jump into our first guest from Miami. We are welcoming Sonsoles Gonzalez. Hello.
Hi, how's everyone?
Toast to the morning.
Morning toast.
By the way,
Good
my
to be
cup
here.
is from my friend Lee Dyer. We got this. We are so excited to have you today from Better, Not Younger. And it's a discussion about our hair and what you're doing to change the dialogue and actually help us.
Absolutely.
I mean, thank you so much. I mean, we had the pleasure of connecting through the gals over at Fancy. So shout out to Erica and Katie for always introducing us to amazing powerhouses that are out there just changing the world. And, I think for a lot of us, what we were talking about a little earlier is that a lot of women in their 40s and 50s have been posting in our community that their locks are changing. That whether it's texture, whether they're finding that hair is falling out, like this idea of just struggling with the hair.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about, what's going on.
Right. Yeah. So, by the way, I'm 56 years old, and I myself noticing changes in my hair in my mid to late 40s. Well, of course, first the grays. They started quite young. I started quite young with the grays. But beyond that, it was just everything was changing. And I spent many, many years in the beauty industry. I worked in Procter & Gamble. I worked at L'Oreal. I held executive roles. I managed big brands like Pantene and Herbal Essences and Head & Shoulders. And so I thought I knew everything about hair. And I really didn't, because those industries are really focusing on women, 15 to 44, 18 to 44. And when I worked there, I always joked in meetings because all of our briefs for product development, for advertisers said women 18 to 44. And I always said, well, what happens with women after 44? Do they disappear? They die? What happens? And it was kind of like a seven joke. And all of a sudden it wasn't funny anymore because that was me. But when I left my corporate role, which was like 4 years ago, I really started struggling finding products for my hair. And I kind of knew there wasn't anything out there because I had been part of the industry. And I knew that all of the research, the development, everything is focused for women up to 44, 45. The industry is always promising us to look younger. They never talk about how to make the best of yourself at any age. And with my background in the hair, my understanding of how important hair was for women at any age, I decided to launch Better Not Younger. And I partnered with an MIT chemist who helped me develop all the formulas. But I'll tell you a little bit what's going on. So when hormonal changes happen, there's a lot going on. So your follicles shrink. That's why your hair grows thinner. They slow down. They get lazy. And so the growth cycle slows down. So you grow, slower. Everything gets slower with age. Then your body's producing less sebum, which are the natural oils. So your hair will naturally grow drier. Then you have the lack of melanin when you are going gray. And the lack of melanin makes the hair very dry and brittle as well. So all of this is happening. Your scalp is skin, like your face. And it's aging too, and it's getting thinner. And there's research that shows the scalp actually ages faster than your face.
Wow.
Yeah, everything. But there's hope. So what happens?
That's why you're here. That's exactly.
So at the time when all this is happening and your hair is very vulnerable, here we go and start to do things that we weren't even doing before. So we start coloring very regularly, most of us, because we want to cover your grays. That's very harsh chemistry on your scalp, on your hair. We start using a lot of styling products because we want to make up for the lack of volume and things like that. Or we start using more dry shampoo because we want to extend the washes in between, and dry shampoos will deposit and clog. So all this is happening. And I call it the perfect storm because it's like the perfect storm of your body changing with all these aggressors that you're bringing in. And what women don't realize, and every woman will tell you, my hair is changing. You know, they know it. They just don't know why. You know, they don't know why, because in the industry, nobody's really talked about it, you know. The only thing that we've learned kind of to do is to deal with gray by coloring. That's pretty much everything you do. So,
well, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask why. Well, we know why it took this long. It's just sad it took this long for someone like yourself to see a problem and find the solution and move on the solution, which is what we're all about within this community at Second Act Women. Is if you have a problem and you have the solution, or you see a problem, you have the solution, move on it, and or stay in corporate America if that's your thing. But what took you to finally say, after working with P&G and all those big brands, Head and Shoulders, that you were going to, you know, I know this problem exists, so let me just do something about it. What told you, okay, it's time, I go out on my own and do this?
Yeah, you know, I had been in the corporate world for like 28 years, and you may say, wow, what took you so long? But you know what? You go on with your life. You have a great job, a great salary, and you know, you just continue. And then one day I was just like starting to get bored. I wasn't motivated. It was just more of the same thing. And I said, I'm just gonna go. And to be completely frank, I was thinking I'm just gonna retire. And within a few months, I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do with my life? You know, I've been working my whole life. I don't know how to do anything else, to be honest.
Right.
You know? And I even considered going back to work, to the corporate world. And then one day I actually interviewed with a hair care company, a mid-sized hair care company. And I was talking to them, and then they did a tour of their facilities. And I was standing there. It's like, I'm out of here. I can do this myself. That was kind of my aha moment, even though I had always had the idea in the back of my mind. I had never really decided to do it. And then when I was there, it's like, I'm not going to go back and work for other people again. I can do this myself. And that's what I did. I partnered with a friend, and then we started getting together and working. As she's not really active right now in the business, but she's an investor. And that's how I started. And, you know, once I started, I never looked back. I never even like said, oh no, I better not do this. You know, I did ask myself a few questions, you know, is this a good idea, or am I just talking to myself? And actually, when I started looking at the demographics and how much this demographic had changed over the years, you know, it was a lot bigger with a lot of money to spend. And I also noticed that, you know, there wasn't anybody talking to these women in general, because if you look at the demographic, I always say when they talk about women, aging women, they always show these women that's, you know, taking cruises and gardening and and who are those women? Where are they? You know?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with cruises, nothing wrong with gardening, but you know, you talk to women and they're starting businesses, they're maybe dating again, they are writing books, they're running marathons, and it's just, women are age. And I was like, I have to change this, you know, this narrative around women and aging. You know, we're not just like ready to like pack it up and go.
Yeah, you know, and I love the idea of being inclusive. You know, from the idea of there's beauty is defined, you know, in the eye of the beholder is what they, you know, that how that saying goes. And it's interesting because we, you know, just very much like you're tackling it from the whole beauty industry. We're tackling it from just, you know, external and internal ageism, and this idea of, you know, you're supposed to hit a certain age and you're supposed to just go silent. Right. And you're right. Like we're living more vibrant, dynamic lives than ever before. And we need products and we need companies to keep up with us. Like we don't want to put down our role so that they can, you know, stay in the know of where we used to be.
Starting my role.
Exactly.
We are just getting started, you know. And I tell the young people, I tell my daughters, you might live to be 100. You might.
Now is the average age.
50, you still have half of your life to go, you know. So
that's what we say. Sonsoles, that's exactly what we say. Is this is just? I like to relate it to football because it's football season. And go Denver Broncos. And sorry, Miami. But that's what we say. Is this is like the second half? And let me tell you, a lot of ball games are won in the second half, and that's us.
And we have a lot of things. I have a lot of things that I didn't have when I was 30. I was very insecure.
Yes.
Now I have confidence. I was trying to be somebody I'm not,
Right.
You're always trying to mimic somebody else's. You have so many role models and you're trying to look at, and you end up looking like a mess, to be honest. I mean, in the sense that you come across as confidently as you do now, and I think that makes it more attractive.
You received a really great write-up in Ad Age. Wow. And in Forbes. That's right. I think that's how I learned about you. Also through Fancy, and then I read the article. And so how long has Better Not Younger been around now?
We've been selling since April of last year, so 18 months. It's relatively new. But it's growing. We're doing extremely well. We have distribution at Sephora.com. As of October of last year. And now we're on HSN. And by the way, ladies, if you want to see it, we'll be on 9/16. We will be on HSN on the Beauty Report.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. We raise a cup to you for sure. So that is beautiful. And this is again, right, proving to our ladies that you said you're 50 what?
56.
You started this company at 54.
52.
50.
Yeah. 52, I started thinking about it. 53, very active, and 54, I launched because I just turned 56. Yeah.
Wow. Well, we have to say congratulations. And what advice would you give some of us that, some of us are growing in our gray, whether it's a streak or full on. Some of us are not growing in our gray, but our hair is changing. What are some tips, right? And what are some of the products that from your line that you recommend? We have 2 women in particular that have literally, before they knew we were talking to you, have purchased your product. So they were excited to have you on board here.
Well, I would tell you, first of all, take care of your scalp. The scalp is the foundation of your hair. It's the only place where your hair is alive. The rest is dead, okay? So you need to nourish your scalp. That's why our bestseller is actually our hair and scalp, our superpower hair and scalp fortifying, which is going to bring all these nutrients to your scalp and you massage it in. That's very important to take care of your scalp. When you're using a shampoo and a conditioner, we all want volume, but be careful. Don't choose a shampoo that's stripping. You need to have a mild shampoo, sulfate-free. Our bestseller is a wake-up call shampoo because you don't want to strip those natural oils out of your hair. The other thing is I want to tell you is as we age, our bodies don't absorb nutrients like we did when we were young. That's why vitamins is important. That's why when you go to the doctor, he or she may tell you take B12, vitamin D, and all that. So our multivitamin contains biotin, other vitamins, folic acid, and those are really important. The last thing is don't stress. Stress affects hair a lot.
Oh my God.
Yes. It is important. Nutrition is very important as well. Make sure you eat a lot of fish. Omega is very good for your hair. Seeds are very good for your hair. You just have a very well-balanced life and your hair will look better. And that means no stress, better sleep, good eating habits, and then of course the right products.
Yeah. What about ethnic hair? Do you, okay, half of this is weave today because I got lazy and put it up in a weave, but what about ethnic hair? Is your product good for coarser hair types?
Some of our products are definitely, our scalp products work just as well. And my knowledge of ethnic hair, I worked for a while on that on Pantene, is the scalp is very, very sensitive for African American women, and it tends to get very dry and there's receding sometimes. So taking care of your scalp is very, very important. The other thing I will say is our masks are amazing for any hair type. So our butter mask contains 5 plant-based butters: macadamia, avocado, murumuru, kupaku, the one I can't remember. And those you just like in your case, you can leave it off for 10, 20 minutes and then go in the shower and you will see your hair completely renewed. So not all of our products are for texture hair, but some of them are. And we're working on other products. We want to launch some products for curly hair for women that want to wear their hair naturally curly.
Yeah, no. Sonsoles, I love all the advice. I love that you saw and identified an opportunity, a challenge, and you rose to the occasion. You showed brands like L'Oreal, like P&G that, hey, you know what? Women over 40 matter. Our hair matters. And if you're not going to do something about it, I'm going to do something about it.
Exactly.
And so, girl, props to you for everything that you're doing to kind of keep our hair and our locks looking good. We are so jazzed for everything that awaits you. I mean, the successes you've received so far are just commendable. So keep up the amazing work. We'll go ahead and put information into our Facebook about your organization. I know that you were wanting to offer something for our ladies to take advantage of your line. So look for that in our post. But in the meantime, thank you, Sonsoles, so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, and congratulations to you as well.